Good motherfucking afternoon. This motherfucking message right here is for young hug, young faggot, young gaylord, young queer, young motherfucking dress.
Before we dive into Young Thug's most intense rivalries, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. That way, you won't miss any of our deep dives into hip-hop's biggest clashes and untold stories. The first on the list of Young Thug's most hated artists is Gunna. Their relationship began on the strongest possible terms. After the tragic death of their mutual friend, King Troop, Young Thug took Gunna under his wing in 2015. He poured time, money, and effort into building Gunna's career, even more than he gave his own family. Thug has said openly that he bought Gunna's first apartment, helped buy his mother a house, and even pushed him to reconcile with his father. For years, they were inseparable.
I made him a millionaire. Like, I bought his first apartment that he lived in. I bought it with my money. I made him put his money up. Keep your money. I bought it with my money because I had a little extras. I bought that shit. I went half and half with you to buy your mama house. Your mama first house, get her out of the hood. I did that. Me. I told you to go down there to the country town and get your daddy, no matter what your differences is with your daddy. I told you that.
Brothers in music and in life. Gunna became a millionaire with Thug's guidance, and together they carried the YSL label to mainstream recognition. That bond was shaken in May 2022 when Young Thug, Gunna, and several members of YSL were indicted under Georgia's sweeping RICO charges. Prosecutors accused them of being part of a violent criminal street gang, and suddenly their lives shifted from luxury to survival. While Thug remained behind bars, fighting to prove his innocence, Gunna made a legal decision that changed everything. In December 2022, he entered an all-foot plea. This meant he didn't admit guilt, but accepted punishment while publicly affirming that YSL was indeed a gang. To Thug and many in the hip-hop community, that move looked like betrayal. Fans began accusing Gunna of snitching, even though he never directly implicated Thug in testimony. The optics alone, one man walking free while the YSL boss stayed in jail, were enough to fracture years of loyalty. Gunna's release caused an uproar online, with memes, think pieces, and endless debates about street codes and brotherhood. In leaked jail calls and later interviews, Young Thug revealed just how deep the wound cut. He admitted that he once thought he hated Gunna for taking the plea. Thug spoke of sleepless nights and the pain of watching someone he treated like family.
I just poured my all into him, bro. I gave this nigga more time than my children, bro. I gave him more time than my kids. I gave him more time than my old lady. Like, I poured my life into these people, bro.
His girlfriend, Mariah the Scientist, later convinced him that it wasn't hatred, but anger. Anger at seeing loyalty collapse under pressure. Still, even with that realization, Thug made it clear there's no going back. When asked in an interview if he would ever sit down with Gunna, he cut off the idea. What the fuck can he say? What can make anybody in the world understand? Nothing, he said. That blunt refusal showed that even if Thug doesn't wish Gunna harm, the trust and closeness are gone forever. What makes this feud so striking is the depth of the bond that was lost. This wasn't a rivalry born out of music, ego, or competition. It was brotherhood undone by legal battles and choices made under pressure. For Thug, the pain wasn't about business. It was about family. The second on the list of Young Thug's most hated artists is YFN Lucci. This beef has stretched across years and touched nearly every corner of Atlanta's rap scene. Both men came up from the same city, both gained respect in the trap music wave, and both carried loyal fan bases. But from the very beginning, their energy toward each other was toxic. The feud dates back to 2017, when Thug declared himself the new Pac on Twitter while releasing his project Easy Breezy Beautiful Thugger Girls. He wrote, "I dropped EBBTG on Tupac's B-Day because I'm the number new Pac." That bold statement drew instant backlash, but none louder than YFN Lucci, who replied, "Pac would have never wore a dress," with a clown emoji. He was mocking Thug's 2016 Jeffrey cover, where Thug appeared in a designer dress. The shots didn't stop there. Thug fired back on Twitter, thanking God Lucci could still take care of his mother, then warned him that doing too much could become a deep sleep. That thinly veiled threat set the tone for the years to follow. Lucci doubled down by dropping a track called Like Pac on what would have been Tupac's 46th birthday, stoking the fire even further. The disrespect was no longer playful, it was personal. Things escalated again in 2019. During an Instagram live, Thug said without hesitation that he would slap Lucci the next time he saw him.
Of course I'm gonna slap the fuck out Lucci, and I'm gonna slap the fuck out Sauce. I'm gonna slap the hell out y'all little nigga, man. Stop playing with me. Niggas don't even play with me because they know what time it is. Like. So for y'all niggas to play with me, just really tell me like.
Lucci responded with a live of his own, using offensive language and claiming Thug wouldn't touch him.
A friend he want to make cool with him. He got niggas he want to go link with. He punch their ass out. You got that nigga. Come on, man. That man a hoe, man. That nigga been running out the mall, boy. You a hoe. Yeah.
Sauce Walka, Lucci's ally, joined in by mocking Thug's boxing practice online. The back and forth posts drew thousands of viewers, turning what began as a Twitter spat into a full-blown public rivalry. But Thug took the hostility to another level when Lucci disrespected his wife, Jerica Carlay, on Instagram. Lucci posted, "Y'all husband ain't none," directly targeting Thug's personal life. That line crossed into dangerous territory, mixing family with rap beef. Not long after, Thug threatened Lucci again, writing on Instagram, "If ain't like what you do for your mother and kids, I would have been killed you." Those words shocked fans, showing just how deep the hatred ran. By 2019, the feud had become one of Atlanta's most notorious rivalries. It wasn't just about music anymore. It was about image, family, and survival. When Thug released So Much Fun in 2019, Lucci wasted no time calling it a cap-ass album on his Instagram story. He even brought up an alleged incident at Atlanta's Lenox Mall, claiming Thug almost soiled himself during a confrontation. Each jab kept the beef alive in headlines, blogs, and fan debates. Even though both rappers appeared on T.I.'s Dime Trap album in 2018, any chance of reconciliation vanished quickly. Their history is filled with insults, threats, and near-violent energy. Among all of Thug's beefs, this one remains one of the most bitter, rooted in ego clashes, and fueled by the pride of two Atlanta heavyweights. The next artist is Sauce Walka. When it comes to Young Thug's loudest and most disrespectful enemies, Sauce Walka is hard to ignore. The Houston rapper went on an unforgettable tirade against Thug back in March 2019, and it wasn't just a casual disagreement. It was vicious, personal, and downright ugly. It all started with something that seemed small. Sauce Walka had posted a caption on Instagram criticizing rappers who used slang terms like slime, a word deeply connected to Thug and his YSL movement. Thug wasn't going to let that slide. He quickly fired back in a comment, basically putting Walka on notice. And just like that, things escalated from petty shots on social media to direct threats. Thug even jumped on Instagram Live around the same time, sending a warning not just to YFN Lucci, but to Sauce Walka as well. His message was direct. He promised to confront both of them.
Say slap. Slap.
Oh God.
Slap y'all the pussy ass nigga. So I lay eyes on y'all over there. Slap the fuck out one of y'all little nigga. Y'all nigga don't need reserve to get killed and pop.
If they kept provoking him. That live stream lit the fuse, and Sauce Walka didn't hesitate to respond. The very next day, March 22nd, he uploaded a video to Instagram that was nothing short of brutal. In it, he hurled harsh insults directly at Thug, mocking his fashion choices and questioning his toughness. Walka went as far as to call him names tied to his gender-fluid style, ridiculing him for wearing dresses and makeup while insisting that someone who dressed that way could never intimidate him. The disrespect was as public as it was harsh.
Young hug, young faggot, young gaylord, young queer, young motherfucking dress. You know who the fuck I'm talking about, you fucking faggot. Nigga, slap, who? Bro, let's get this understood, bro. You are a fucking transsexual, you are a quad-sexual, you are a transvestite. Now nigga in no motherfucking dress with lipstick or makeup will ever put their motherfucking hands on me, nigga. Your security guards won't put their hands on me, nigga. I will punch your security guards.
Whether that story was true or exaggerated, the point was clear. Sauce Walka wanted the world to know he wasn't scared of Thug and that the beef was very real. This wasn't just a rap competition. This was personal, ugly, and out in the open. The Feud highlighted one of the most explosive chapters in Thug's long history of conflicts, with Sauce Walka taking every chance to belittle him. And while it didn't spill into violence the way some of Thug's other beefs did, the words Walka used and the intensity behind them cemented this as one of the rawest rivalries in Young Thug's career. The next artist on Young Thug hate list is Lil Wayne. Young Thug's issues with Lil Wayne weren't just another case of ego clashes in hip-hop. This beef went far deeper, lasting years and even finding its way into a courtroom years later. It started in 2015 when Thug decided to title his album Barter 6, a clear play on Wayne's legendary Thaw Carter series. For fans of Wayne, it felt like outright disrespect, and Weezy himself wasn't amused. The two rappers exchanged shots through music and interviews, with Wayne dismissing Thug's antics and Thug standing firm on his creative choice. But things quickly got darker than just words. In April 2015, after a Wayne concert at Atlanta's Compound nightclub, his tour bus was shot up. Miraculously, no one was killed, but the shooting was quickly tied to Thug's YSL affiliate, Jimmy Carlton Winfrey. Prosecutors alleged that the shooting was connected to the feud between Wayne and Thug. And while Birdman, who was also entangled in his own issues with Wayne at the time, denied involvement, many fans believed there was more going on behind the scenes. Winfrey was eventually arrested and sentenced to 20 years, though that conviction was later overturned in 2018 due to judicial misconduct. Still, the incident left a stain on Thug and his crew, linking their feud with Wayne to something far more dangerous than just rap beef. The story didn't end there. Fast forward to Thug's ongoing YSLRICO trial, and Lil Wayne's name resurfaced. Prosecutors wanted to introduce video evidence of Wayne speaking about the feud, but a Fulton County judge ruled that for the footage to be admissible, Wayne himself would have to testify. Judge Ural Glanville even scolded prosecutors, saying, "It seems like you all are trying really hard not to call Lil Wayne." That moment revealed just how central this old beef still was to the state's case against Thug. Though Wayne was ultimately removed from the official witness list, the fact that his name even came up in a courtroom years later shows the magnitude of their conflict. What began as an argument over an album title spiraled into real-world violence and legal drama. For Young Thug, clashing with Lil Wayne wasn't just about hip-hop dominance.
My nigga Tune ain't never been Hollywood, he's just been Hollywood. You know what the f*** it is. Let's sign this mother. Anybody with Tune gotta follow through. I will f*** Thug up on.
It was about challenging a legend and, in many ways, paying the price for it, whether through shots in the media or literal shots fired on the road.
Albums like that, I looked at it as just total respect, man. And, you know, my mom always told me, you know, if they ain't talking about you, you ain't, you know, if you ain't talking about you, you're doing something right, yeah. Right. So, shit, I didn't look at it as no, and also there was no dissing on there, you know, you didn't diss me at all, so I looked at it as all respect. Also, when I see the homie,
you saw him before?
A few times.
Oh, okay, that's the part people don't know.
This rivalry stands as one of the most infamous in Thug's career. The fifth on the list of Young Thug's most intense rivalries is Charlamagne Thagal. Their tension stems from public criticism, perceived disrespect, and Thug's strong loyalty to his team and image. It all heated up around 2015 to 2016. Charlamagne, co-host on The Breakfast Club, frequently made remarks about Young Thug's style, especially his fashion choices, including wearing dresses or gender-fluid clothing.
Man, who's snitching and who not snitching? To me, you know what Thug need? A record. Thug need a slap. Thug need one of them joints. He need one of them ones. That's what Gunna did. Gunna came out and gave you a few of them ones.
Twice. He dropped twice. Yeah. The album that had Bread and Butter on it, and now the last one.
Yeah, but he gave you that slap with F You Mean.
Charlamagne's commentary often questioned whether Thug's outward image undercut his credibility in hip-hop. For example, during interviews, Charlamagne and other hosts would point at Thug's attire and public presentation, implying that some of his appearance was more about attention than artistry. Thug didn't take that lightly. One major flashpoint was when Birdman walked out of an interview on The Breakfast Club, feeling disrespected by the hosts. Young Thug defended Birdman, his mentor, in public. On Snapchat and in interviews, Thug made direct threats towards Charlamagne, saying, "Make people torture you, boy, and we're going to beat you up," according to several reports.
Charlamagne, make niggas torture you, boy. Told your pussy, make nigga beat the fuck out you. Nigga beat that fuck nigga up.
That was a show of how serious Thug felt the disrespect had become. Charlamagne's responses were more verbal and media-based. He defended his role as interviewer, pointing out that part of his job was to question artists, challenge narratives, and sometimes that meant pushing back against what he saw as Thug's dramatic persona. In public discussions, Charlamagne said he sometimes regretted certain remarks, but maintained that questioning fashion or public image is part of broader conversations in culture. Over time, Young Thug addressed the feud in more reflective terms. In later interviews, Thug publicly said he felt misunderstood, that some of what Charlamagne said hurt because Thug saw fashion and image as part of his artistic message, not just provocation. Thug acknowledged growing, maturing, realizing that some of the comments came from misunderstanding rather than malice. By about 2021, their relationship appeared to have softened. In a joint interview with The Breakfast Club and other hosts, Thug and Charlamagne discussed and clarified past misunderstandings, including a 2016 Birdman-related interview that was part of their conflict. They spoke of respect, of mistakes made by both sides.
I made one of the worst hip-hop predictions about 10 years ago when I did Vlad TV. They asked me, they said, who gonna be around longer, Rich Homie Quan or Young Thug? And I said, probably Rich Homie Quan. Clearly I was wrong.
And the idea that time changes perspective. The conflict didn't resolve fully, but the sharp edges seemed dulled. This rivalry is unique among Thug's beefs because it centers not only on ego or music, but on identity, fashion, and how much public image matters. Thug's style, his aesthetic, and how seriously he takes his presentation are part of what Charlamagne critiqued and part of what Thug defended fiercely. The sixth on Young Thug's most hated artists is Plies. Their feud is less about style or ideological differences and more about personal boundary violations and insults, particularly when family is involved. Their issues go back to about 2015. Plies posted a video on Instagram showing Young Thug's daughter using strong language toward her mother. The video alone wasn't spared from criticism, but what angered Thug was how Plies captioned it.
What you say?
Motherfucker tired.
What?
Motherfucker tired.
You what?
Motherfucker tired.
What?
A motherfucker tired.
Man, listen, I want everybody in the world to act this fuck nigga Plies and tell this pussy ass nigga him take this motherfucking video of my daughter off her, his motherfucking page, calling her out her name. It's gonna be problem. That video ain't down today on Everything I Love is Problems, bro. Whatever you wanna be with, pussy ass fuck nigga.
Using derogatory language, be her toward Thug's daughter. Thug saw this as crossing a line, using his child in a public post to make a point or generate engagement. Following that, Thug responded publicly with strong displeasure. In interviews and live social media sessions, he said that Plies was wrong for that post, that he was using family, using his child in a disrespectful way. Thug also reacted by pointing out that he had more hits and more recognition, suggesting that Plies' commentary was more about grabbing attention than about real critique. Plies didn't hold back either. On an episode of Complex Well-Rounded, he called Young Thug a lower tier artist, saying he did not associate with artists he considered beneath his level. He questioned Thug's commercial performance.
Foremost, I never disrespect nobody, churn, never have and never will. I put up an IG poster, a little girl, I ain't know who the fuck she was. All I know, she was speaking on how I felt, nigga, and still feel like she's speaking for me. And if you had a problem with it, fuck, nigga, you asked me to take it down.
Asking how many records he sold in the first week, etc. That kind of remark fueled the feud, especially since Thug has always guarded his reputation and status. In addition, Thug threatened Plies at times, saying he would physically confront him for the perceived disrespect toward his daughter. These weren't vague hints, they were public statements. The tinder for fueling public anger lit fast because family is involved. The feud didn't become a lengthy legal battle or move into violence, at least not in public record. It remained in the world of insults, social media, and public posturing, but it carried emotional weight. For Thug, it was a violation of a boundary. For Plies, it was about asserting status and making bold claims. What sticks out about this beef is how personal it got. Not just career respect, but parenthood, privacy, and what you can and cannot touch without pushing someone to respond. The last artist on our list is Rich Homie Quan. Their history is more complicated. Close friendship, shared success, then a public drift, rumors, misunderstandings, and creative differences all played parts. Young Thug and Rich Homie Quan rose together in Atlanta's rising trap scene. In the early 2000s, both were part of the Rich Gang Collective, led by Birdman, and released collaborations like Lifestyle, 2014, that landed strong positive attention. Their chemistry and frequent collaboration made them seem tightly bound. However, in interviews over the years, Quan has spoken about feeling overshadowed. He said that Thug sometimes got more attention, more spotlight.
What's the relationship with Quan, with Rich Homie?
No, we don't have no problem.
Okay.
Like, I don't think we can be like how we used to be.
Right.
He already just did some bullshit. He already know my heart, so it's like I'm too pure. So once you just you do that, it's like no, yes. He did a show before, and I think a guy had touched his leg on the stage, like a fan was like, yo, he was standing on the end of the stage and people was touching him, grabbing his shoes, and he was like, yo, I ain't with that gay shit, nigga, I ain't with that thug shit.
And that their professional paths began diverging. Quan claimed that shows booked together started to feel imbalanced. He felt his creative contributions were minimized. In 2017 and beyond, the public began noticing fewer collaborations and less interaction. There were interviews in which Quan talked about feeling hurt by Thug's behavior, feeling that some comments Thug made publicly or things in the media were disrespectful or dismissive. At the same time, Thug addressed the fallout in recent interviews, saying they had parted ways for career reasons and that misunderstandings played a major role.
Use the same pattern. You can't use the pattern that a Future used, or you can't say turn up. You got to say another word, you know what I'm saying? Make the world feel what you saying, you feel me? Like, you can't be saying turn up, you can't say movie, you can't say yeah, you can't say woo woo. You sound like Future, but you saying the same thing that you using the similar words, similar word pattern, you know what I mean? So that's why people compare it, because of the pattern of it.
Quan also suggested that their drift was not just about music, but emotional capacity, schedules, opportunities, ownership of creative control, recognition. He implied that when two people come up together, egos can clash, lines blur, and sometimes perceived loyalty falls apart when individual ambition comes into play.
Well, Quan, you know, I ain't really trying to start no industry shit. Roddy Ricch wanted you off the song. Man, I ain't even met Roddy. I ain't never met Roddy. I ain't even know he felt some type of way about me.
In Thug's more recent interviews, 2025, he reflected on Quan's legacy, their collaborations, mutual lifts, shared vision, then gradually respect, recognition, and creative equality became points of friction. It's less about insults and more about broken trust and unmet expectations.
My brother called me Quan, and I took my glasses off. Like, to be honest, not to get in my feelings, it hurt.
Young Thug never backed down from confrontation. Whether it was Gunna's plea deal, Lucci's disrespect, Sauce Walka's rants, or Charlamagne's critiques, he made sure his voice was heard. Every clash revealed something about loyalty, image, or family, turning rivalries into defining chapters of his career. Some were born from broken bonds, others from bruised egos, but all showed how fiercely Thug guarded his name and legacy. Now it's over to you. Was Gunna's fallout the deepest cut? Did Lucci's mockery sting the most? Or was it the split with rich homie Quan that hurt the hardest? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit like if you followed Thug's battles, and subscribe for more stories about the rivalries that shaped hip-hop.